Hello, and welcome to RPGs Uncovered. We're here for a special stream tonight. This is not one of my usual streaming days, but I am very happy to be here on a Friday evening. We are doing a special, I'm going to call it a charity stream. We're doing a special Cyberpunk Red fundraising event, let's say, for a dear friend of mine, Drake Lionheart, a member of this community here of my channel. He's on Starcrier Conflict, which is our sort of mainstay for the channel, big show for the channel, and has been on several other episode series that we've run. I've been on his channel, on other channels with him. Just altogether a fantastic person, and he's in need of help. They're in need of help right now. I know this is part of a week-long or so fundraising event that has been going on their channel, on other people's channel, really working with the community. I'm touched for him by how many people have jumped on this to help him out, and it is well deserved. I am going to start by ladling praise on one of my closest friends in this space, because he really does deserve all the help we can get him. They spend so much of their time and effort raising other people up, reaching out and working with everybody in the community, and just is all around a dedicated friend and professional person in this space, which is something that is greatly cherished by producers like myself. So we are here to support them. From what I understand, they have some housing problems going on right now. They need to raise some money, and they got a family. So it is especially important that we keep them and all of theirs safe with a roof, and especially going into the holiday seasons and getting cold out and whatnot. So you can go check him out on Twitter at Drake Lionheart, or at I think it's at Lionheart. You know what? I can just drop this into chat. Go check him out on Twitter. He's been posting about it what he can. But with that preamble out of the way, I will also drop the !donate into chat here. This link, and you can !donate at any time. It'll bring up the link for the collection page. I urge you, whatever you can. I know everybody's got their own things going on nowadays. I was gonna say right now, but nowadays. But if you are so inclined, if you are able to, type in !donate, head to the collection page, and just drop whatever you can in there. And we got some incentives down at the bottom of our overlay here to help out, to give you a little bit more incentive to drop some tips in the bucket there. We are doing $5 player rerolls, $10 for meter reroll, and most importantly, every $50 is gonna drop a Cyber Psycho. I'm hoping for multiple Cyber Psychos. Some might be on the player side. You know, if we get enough, I'm going to start throwing them on the player side. So if you want to give them a Cyber Psycho, we need to raise some money, folks, and it's gonna be big. It's gonna be explosive. But I've been rambling on for a bit here. I think those are the main announcements. We're not here for me. We're here for Lion and his collection. So I'm going to save any of my stuff for the outro. We are here to play Cyberpunk Red. I do feel it important just to put a little disclaimer up at the front here for anybody who might not be familiar with Cyberpunk. So content warning, it's a heavy system, guys. We are really just here to have fun, so it's mostly just gonna be driving around, shooting thugs and whatnot. But Cyberpunk as a setting and as a tone can get rambunctious. So we're gonna be a little bit more adult with the language. We might be a little bit more adult with the themes, but we've gone over safety tools with my lovely cast here. We're not gonna touch on anything just too heavy, but it is Cyberpunk, so the normal content warning that you would get in front of any more mature game like Cyberpunk or VTM or stuff like that. But we're just here to have a good time. I think that's all I have to say. So let me take the time now to throw this over to the cast as we get started, and I would like you to just introduce yourself, your pronouns, who you are playing, and what their role in the group is, and we will get to character descriptions when we actually get rolling. So let me throw it over to Dell.
Hello, I am Dell or Digital Crow. I am playing Cece, also known as Crash Cart. I am your Crash Cart special med tech. You fall down for me and I help pick you up, hopefully in one piece. We'll find out. Yeah, so I'll be keeping everybody up, or at least trying to.
Excellent. Zev.
Hey everybody, I'm Zev. I'll be playing Elias Riker, the person most likely to need to be picked up and put back together.
All right, let's throw it over to Kiwi.
Hi everyone, I'm Kiwi Waste, she, her, and I am playing Waverly, also known as Angel, and she is our Nomad, so I'm going to getting us to and from all the action.
Excellent. And wrapping us up here, we got TR.
Hello everybody, what's up? My name is Graham, also goes by TR Graham everywhere on the internet. I'm here today to play Jean, the Raging Cajun. We're here to have a good time, yeah? He's the tech. Keep everything up and running.
Excellent. All right. Well, I'm going to open this real quick. Do bear with us. We are, as a brand new show, because it is a one-shot, and working with another channel here and how they tend to do things. Do allow me some slight pauses here or there to see how we're doing, but I'm gonna keep that up. I think we are otherwise good to roll. Keep that up in the background, and in chat, if anybody notices the music is too quiet or too loud, do let us know, because we got an awesome soundtrack tonight. All for you stuff from Pixabay. Great site for stock anything, really. But with that, I should introduce myself properly. Hello, folks. I'm Jack. If you're familiar with the channel, you know my spiel. If not, welcome to RPGs Uncovered. He, they, and I run everybody else. So that's what we're doing tonight. All right. Let us then, without any further ado, a little longer, and we started off late. Let's jump into Food Truck Wars. So you will see on our overlay where we are starting in Night City, and this is the time of the Red. This is a few good decades before we get to the much brighter and flourishing Night City of Cyberpunk 2077, the video game. If anybody's not familiar with the setting, it's been, I think, 30, 40 years or so since a pocket nuke went off in downtown Night City. And there's a whole contradictory story about exactly what that is, but that doesn't worry us right now. We have much more personal concerns to deal with today. But we're starting out in, well, the border between Santo Domingo and Rancho Coronado. The overpopulated, sort of slummy suburban area that is Night City during the time of the Red. Now, during the Red, again, several decades before 77, it is, well, it's not the best of places. It's not the combat zone, but it's still, life's a little difficult here, but life's a little difficult everywhere in Night City at the moment. So, on the border of Santo Domingo and Rancho Coronado, urban sprawl and the festering corpse of suburbia smack up against each other. While once Both housed the lower and upper level wage slaves of Night City's megacorps. Both are now heavily overpopulated refugee zones, littered with tent cities and feuding squatters driven out from the inner reconstruction zones. We're a long few decades away from the cleanish streets, towering mega buildings, and resurrected kind of suburbs of 2077. But while life in the overpacked suburbs isn't ideal, it's far safer than the combat zones across the bay. Sporadic rooftop and green wall gardens supply some fresh food, while local gangs eke out a tenuous peace. And more than the blood-red streets of the combat zones or the stifled, corpo-choked inner city, the streets and camps of Santo Domingo and Rancho Coronado provide a perfect melting pot for expression and culture. And that is where we are going to find ourselves today. Specifically, we change our overlay here, at the Red Dirt Grill, Red Dirt Bar. This is, well, it's an eatery. I wouldn't call it a fine dining experience, but it's a bar with food. And in the time of the Red, food is scarce and tends to be low quality. But this is one of the nicer places in the area, which you have to take with a grain of salt. Or maybe not, because they might not actually have salt. But you can get food here. This is probably one of the better areas. And we are going to pick up... We're going to pick up, inside this bar, dimly lit, a few neon lights here or there, lots of smoke, lots of cigarette smoke, and other such illicit intoxicants. A crowd of people between the bar and booths, people milling around on the floor. People are waiters and whatnot, if you want to call them waiters, are shouting orders back behind the bar. People are rushing all about. It's got a steady bustle. But off in the corner, we see our fixer for the evening, Albatross. Or Mr. Albatross, depending on how fancy, formal you want to get. Anyone familiar with previous RPG's uncovered Cyberpunk charities may remember Albatross. He's the fixer I work with. Fixer I set up my runners with. Now, Albatross is a well-styled man in his late 40s, or looks so, at least, wearing a clean, pressed white suit, a powder blue button-up with a few buttons undone, and a thin gold chain with a pendant of an albatross. He has purposely mussed, dirty blonde hair, a clean shave, and bright, very bright, shining blue Kuroshi cyber eyes. Certainly stands out among this crowd. He doesn't look like a corpo, he just looks like somebody who is much better off than the people around here. Sat next to him, in this booth, is a stout, portly Hispanic man, well tanned and muscled from his nomad life, you will soon come to learn. By the name of, or at least he goes by, Poblano. He wears old, frayed but cleanish nomad leathers and sports a thin mustache and just a little stubble across his chin. We see the crow's feet and laugh lines of a person who is usually quite friendly and jovial. And we see him wearing a bit of a dour grimace at the table tonight. And this is when our team of runners will enter. I'm not going to worry too much about how you've all met up, how you know each other. We've established previously that you've worked with each other before. Runners always tend to shuffle between groups every now and then, but you know each other, you know what each other can do. You've had words, you've had pleasantries, and we'll say that everybody has gotten together after getting this call from Albatross that he has a job for you. A job with some of the smaller nomad clans of the area. A job that while not paying as well as some of the, higher price inner city jobs, will provide you free lunch for a month. So that's nice. On top of some eddies, because you always got to sweeten the pot with some eddies. But a typical, more or less, gun for hire job. So let's go down the list. I would like everybody, first roll of the night, always, presumably, usually, the first roll of the night in any Cyberpunk game, I would like everybody to roll me wardrobe and style to see how you enter and how good you look tonight. Because Cyberpunk is all about flash. Ooh, Elias starting off with our first critical failure. I see Waverly, I see Elias. Another quick asterisk for us here. This is a new VTT for a bunch of us, a bunch of my players here, so we're all still getting used to the sheets and the system. So let's start off, because Waverly, Angel, you were the first to get your roll in. With a 7, I will remind myself and everybody else of the typical DV values. Now with a 13, this is general everyday kind of stuff. So you're put together for day-to-day sort of living. As a runner, we'll say. The next higher up would be the difficult range at DV15 and the professional range at DV17. And anything below 13 is, not doing great. So with that in mind, everybody can think about how they are presenting themselves, what they are wearing, their swagger when they're coming in, and try to relate it to the dice rolls. But let's start us off with Kiwi. If you could describe Angel walking in for us.
Okay, well, so Angel's gonna walk in. She's gonna have, also being a nomad, she's gonna have her nomad leathers on, nice bandana around her, like she has purplish red hair and her sunglasses on. Boots, some kind of tattered jeans, but like tattered in a way that still looks nice, not like super grimy looking. She's been on jobs before, so she's not dressed like, she's dressed nice for, like, she looks good for a job, looks like pretty standard. She's gonna probably walk in, have like smoking something as she walks in, might, put it out right as she walks in the building. And she'll, like, very casual swagger, just sit down, probably just say, probably like, "Hey, Poblano, what's up?"
Poblano will sort of, it's that forced smile, but a forced smile of somebody who is used to smiling. So you get a nice big toothy grin, but the eyes aren't necessarily there. Just gives you a nod, because presumably there are 3 other people behind you. Let's move down to Elias Riker here, who rolled a 1, which exploded into another 1 for a grand total of 4.
Oh boy. Riker looks like shit. His clothes look like they were once kind of bohemian, artsy, like loose shirt, loose pants. Some of those stains are blood. Some of those stains are food. Some are alcohol. He comes in kind of hunched, just kind of there. Doesn't look good. Not put together. From the bruises on his face, he may have lost a fight. He may have won a fight. With how he is, it really could have gone either way. But he definitely, compared to Waverly, he looks like about 30 miles of bad road. And does not seem to notice or much care.
Alright, you can slide into the booth looking disheveled as you are. Nobody nobody seems offended. They might not regard you as you sit down, but it's not a problem, especially for the solo of the group. What we got next? Crash Car. What is your entrance?
So Crash Cart looks like she's come off of a job that paid decently. She's got a leather jacket with no holes that matches the pop of bubblegum pink hair that leads into this kind of blue raspberry at the tail ends. Like she's got a fresh dye job. She has these red cyber eyes that have heart frames inside of it, clearly custom. Just kind of giving this friendly peach smile of the presentation of a med kit on the back. That is the only thing on her that seems more worn than anything, but also the most taken care of. It's very well loved. Clearly has that symbol of medical care on it. She wears that Red Cross with pride. We see that she's wearing this mix of blue and pinks that matches her hair, but it's just slightly a lighter color that leads into the leathers. The undersuit is a little bit more worn. You can tell that the jacket is really the only thing that she's purchased new outside of the hair. Probably what she spent the majority of that last bag on. But she's coming in with a friendly smile and slides in rather easy next to Elias and Waverly, as if she's been there the whole time and knows these two rather well.
Of course. Yes. You get an actual beaming smile from Albatross as he gives you the sort of runner salute, and another just simple hello from Poblano here. Now, Jean, I don't see a roll for you.
I'm having a little bit of an issue. My system's running really slow right now, and I'm not sure why.
Okay.
So I thought I clicked it so someone could, if you're able to do the roll for me for that.
Sure. Let's pop this out then. You're here. Wardrobe style. Let's see what you get. All right, you got a 16.
Ooh.
So give us an introduction, baby.
Jean is always. So Jean is always the epitome of trying to be the essence of what Night City was in the past and is going to be again. Style and flash and danger rolled into a package. You can see lines denoting moderate cyberware across his face. These silver and gold lines leading to these red on black eyes that are almost the inverse of Albatross's. As he's walking around with this very casual leaning grace, you see him just kind of eyeing everyone. Monsieur Albatross, is always a pleasure, my friend. As he, does this very luxurious bow before sliding in right next to Madame Crashcart and kind of owning the presence of the table to a certain degree.
Always a pleasure indeed, my chooms. Albatross will, now that everybody's sat down, will straighten himself up and regard each of you with his patented shiny smile, bright flashing blue eyes. Thank you all for coming and meeting with us. We have a bit of a situation. I'm sure you understand. That is almost entirely why we get together, unfortunately. But business is good with the Albatross. So I would like you to meet one of my good friends, one of my good chooms here, Poblano. If you've not met him already, I know he represents a small nomad group here in the lower end of Night City. It specializes in food trucks, so if you've been in the area, you've got some good eats out of a truck, probably likely Poblano has been around. Unfortunately, things are not going well for these mobile nomad eateries at the moment. Let me start then, actually, before we pass this off to my choom here. We've worked it out amongst ourselves. I sent you the details, basic details for the job, basic details of pay. We're going to be floating 800 eddies your ways, individually. Little smaller than normal price point for a job like this, but my choom here, Poblano, he said he's going to hook up each of you with free lunch for a month. Any food cart the Nomads run. Great stuff. Excellent food from some of the freshest, tastiest food you are going to get outside of Corpo Town up north. Anything better than, we're growing locally, and certainly better than that scop kibble. So that's more of the incentive. If you ask me, that's more of the incentive than the eddies. But I know eddies go a long way. So, sweeten the pot a little bit. I'm going to go order us some food. Well, we have a conversation with Poblano here. Let me also, in case this hasn't been stressed, yeah, there's a reason we're meeting at a dive like this when, well, as I said, Poblano's got a fleet of good food trucks. Yeah, those food trucks aren't going well. So, excuse the much lesser delicatessen that I'm about to bring back. But it should whet your appetite for what's to come. I'm going to let my choom take over from here. He stands up and pats Poblano on his shoulder. Gets off and scurries back into the crowd somewhere. There's a beat, as you can see. Poblano kind of gets himself ready to talk about this. And I am certainly not going to try to attempt an accent, but do imagine an appropriate voice and countenance for this portly Hispanic individual here. Thank you, Chooms, for agreeing to meet up. I've only worked with Albatross a few times, and some of them were even catering jobs. So I'm hoping he's worked out everything, job angle for you Chooms. Well, let me give you a quick rundown of what's going on here. Yeah, I know Angel, you're familiar with Out in the Wastes. Yeah, the Raffen. Fucking Raffen Shiv. I mean, they're bad enough news out in the wastes. We do what we can, and we do pretty well with them. The Aldecados, we're not part of them, but they're good chooms. They keep the Badlands pretty well protected. I'm sure you know. But well, it seems a patch of a bit more entrepreneurial Raffen have decided to move on in to the city every now and then and start pushing us out of our territory. We've lost a couple trucks. We've lost too many good people. But well, basically, our fleet of food trucks, they move out. We have our general locations, and we keep moving around every now and then. But yeah, for the past week or so, we park, we open the doors, we start slinging some good food, and then boom, Raffen hit. Peel in out of nowhere, and it's a bloodbath. We we can handle ourselves out on a caravan, but we were not expecting something like this when we're working, when we're just trying to give out good food. So it's been rough. We've lost some people.
Unfortunately, good food calls the rats.
Right, that seems to be the case. Yeah, we're not sure where they're getting their stuff. It seems their MO is they chase us out, push our truck off to the side if we don't delta out of there quick enough, and apparently they're slinging their own food right now, and I've stayed the hell away from it. Word on the street, it's pretty good, which is kind of insult to injury at this point. So it's kind of where you chooms come in. We need this taken care of. And like I said, we're not really part of the Aldecados. I just sort of represent a loose, coalition of families and whatnot, and they're just trying to, to make their eddies. So we need these Raffen taken out of business. So I don't claim to know anything about your side of the life or whatnot. I will leave it to you. But we got a truck that we've managed to salvage and to modify, and we've put some good work into it. We're gonna let you use that. I think it's best, like I said, I'll leave the planning to you folks and whatnot, but I'd suggest, set up shop somewhere, make it look like you're doing business, and the Raffen should just come to you. Apparently they got eyes on the street, and they like to move. So yeah, basically what we need you to do is just figure out what hole out in the desert they're coming from and put them out of business. Whether that's getting rid of their food supply, destroying their trucks. Hell, these fuckers are Raffen. Kill them all for all I care. But I'm not gonna lie, there's a part of me that's really out for revenge here. So you guys feel free to do what you need to do. But we just need this to stop, because we got families who are losing people and losing money.
I mean, I'm always down for taking out some Raffen.
Job's a job.
I just believe in
I
health
think
and
we can
nutrition.
take care of you. I think we can help you out real good, Mr. Poblano. Let us take care of it for you, yeah?
Very good. Very good. And yeah, as Albatross said, you get this done, you stop by any truck, any time of day, we'll hook you up. We got you covered. We got some good food. All right.
Looking forward to it.
He sort of looks behind. There's a beat. You guys can talk amongst yourselves, but very, very quickly, Albatross will come back, and he's got a couple people following him. He's got a few big pitchers of something that passes for beer down here. He's got a platter full of burgers and hot dogs and chips and whatnot. There's probably not a real ingredient in the lot of them, but this is Night City in the 40s. That's what you got. So they set out this buffet of very artificial Americano eating, and you guys can dig in as much as you like. And when you're done with pleasantries, when you're done with eating, Poblano will take you out to the car park outside and give you a look at the food truck. So at this point, it's a little later in the evening. You head on out. It is this large, sort of paint chipped off in areas, big red food truck that says "Best Served Smokin'" on the side. And from the exterior, it looks like your standard food truck. It has boards sort of embedded into the side of the truck with an old menu on it. It's got the logo. It's got the big flip down window for ordering food. It's got a big van doors in the back for moving things in and out. He walks over in front of it and sort of pats it on the hood, and there's a nice sturdy thunk that you get out of it. Sturdier than what you would expect from just patting the hood of a vehicle, which should be relatively, well, not hollow, still a lot of air gap in the space. This is an armored vehicle. You can tell, especially Angel here. You know a modified vehicle when you see it. Even with fine Nomad craftsmanship that likes to sort of accentuate some of those modifications while hiding some of the other modifications, you can tell this is this has some good stuff in it. So he's gonna walk around the vehicle. He opens up the back and shows that it is a food truck inside. It's got the grill. It's got the big freezer. It's got anything that's sort of built into the truck is still there, but it has all the appliances taken out. You don't see any food back there. They've tried to clear out as much room as possible. But he then walks back over to the front and actually hops into the driver's seat, flips a few switches and knobs and whatnot, and out the top of the truck pops out a machine gun, a built-in machine gun. You flip a lever there, machine gun pops out, and you can spray some lead down the street if you really have to. Other than that, where are we at here with my upgrades? There you are. Yeah, other than that, you can tell that it is a heavy armored chassis. So it's got some armor on the sides, and it's a nice sturdy construction. You know, the axles have been reset and fortified and whatnot. Big vehicle. And then he takes you back around to the food truck, opens up the freezer, and you can see there's a hole cut at the bottom of the freezer and a big ass nitrous tank shoved in the freezer. This food truck's got nitro.
You gotta love that extra juice.
I'm feeling good about it, Angel.
Oh, I'm feeling really good about this. This is nice.
Can I roll a land vehicle tech roll just to give this thing a professional once over?
Sure. You want me to roll that for you?
Let's see if it lets me actually roll it this time.
All right.
And is it? No, it's still not loading on my side for some reason. If you wouldn't mind rolling that for
I'll
me.
give you a roll. Where are we at? Land vehicle tech. There we go. That's a 17. It's a nice professional assessment.
Yeah.
Anything sticking out to Jean about a weakness, about, you know, anything that we should know about before we take this thing out into an excursion with Raffen?
I mean, it's a food truck, so it's not the most aerodynamic, and it's
Right.
been heavily reinforced, so it's not the quickest. It's got a relatively low speed, relatively low maximum speed, at least compared to modern vehicles at this point.
Right.
Probably doesn't have the best handling. Not that I'm going to penalize any rolls for it. It looks like a vehicle that is old, like probably a couple decades old.
Yeah.
But most Nomad vehicles are at this point.
Right.
But it's been well taken care of. It's fueled up. You can look underneath, pop open the hood. Everything looks well maintained.
Yeah, knocks on the nitro line, just make sure it's hit. Just watch the corners, Angel, and we should ride flying in this thing.
Well, I'm gonna leave this in your care, and I fully realize I'm handing the keys over to a bunch of edge runners, and I mean that with all respect. So to try to get it back to me in one piece is really all I ask. But
We
You know,
can't make
we can fix
promises,
stuff.
but we try.
I'll do what I can.
That's all I ask. I know it's not the hot rods you're used to, Angel, but you know, it's got some spirit. It served us well, so we'd like to keep it if we can. And you know, we can fix a lot, but we can't fix it if it gets, you know, blown the fuck up. all right, chooms. You guys have been good sports here. I look forward to hearing that this is dealt with, and you give my agent a ring if you need anything. But if that's all, I'm gonna throw you the keys, and you guys can take your time, get set up tomorrow, and hopefully it'll go about as smooth as knocking off some Raffen can go.
You're in good hands.
Leave it to us.
Yeah, we got this.
Always a
Unless we
pleasure,
don't.
guys. Always actually, he doesn't know yet. I think at that point Albatross will who's been sort of hanging around, is gonna walk up and just sort of pat you on the shoulder as he walks past. Always a pleasure, Elias. You take care of yourself.
Always.
All right, Poblano's gonna toss the keys over to Angel, and the two of them are gonna head off. Do you guys have, well, any discussion you would like to have involving how you're going to handle this? It was proposed that you use this truck as bait. Really, set it up somewhere. The Raffen will show up. You fight back. They run off. You chase them to wherever they are. But if you have a different plan, have at it.
I mean, I think that's as good as plan as any. Probably should have
cowards
asked
run
where
home.
the best place to set up a food truck is, but it's fine. I've seen the trucks around.
From my end, from what he was saying, wherever we set up, they gonna come.
Yeah, that's
Suggest-
true.
Probably
Just
gonna find some
me.
place.
They're watching. Elias is kind of flexing his prosthetic hand. If they're watching, maybe grab the watcher.
Strange how much our minds align. I was thinking
I
the
don't know
same
if that's
thing.
the mind I'd want to ally with, Crash Guy.
Well, I think it's because we spend so much time together.
Do good work. Good work.
So we set up nice and pretty, nice
I
and
think
tempting, and then
Yep.
we find our watcher.
And if he gets off the call, we take care of what shows up either way.
Yeah. Yeah. I want the watcher.
And you'll have them, don't worry.
We know you. We know you do.
Just kind of goes and leans against the side of the truck, still flexing the hand. Periodically, the claws kind of push out between the knuckles, pull back in, just kind of reflexive.
All right.
It should be fun.
Well, it sounds like we have a plan. You got the truck. Obviously, it's a little late to set up tonight, so you guys can take the evening to yourself, check your gear, get a good night's rest in, and meet up the next day with Angel and the best served smokin', and drive around Rancho Coronado for a little bit, find a place to park, and start the ruse.
Once we've parked, can I identify or find somewhere that looks like it has a good vantage point over the area?
Yeah, let's Let's see what skill works here. Yeah, not sure if this is a skill you anticipated needing. But every stat is in some way useful for every character, or most of the time. I would like you to give me a tactics roll, which is down under the education skills.
I believe in you.
12.
A 12. Not bad. Not bad. Yeah, so you're moving around Rancho Coronado. It's a lot of kind of cookie cutter houses in lots, but there's a bunch of different like shanty town ramshackled additions propped up next to them, whole tent cities set up. But for the most part, it is sprawling as opposed to anywhere tall. From where you are, really the best you could do is get up on one of the single-story roofs nearby.
Okay. I'm gonna take my guns and take my shabby ass self onto that roof.
All right.
And then I'm just gonna, if there's any trash up there, just kind of scrungle down into it and just lie there waiting,
Excellent.
watching.
Excellent. I'm not going to bog us down with all the roles I would call for during a campaign. We'll just say you are big and tough enough looking to scare off anybody who's going to have a problem with this, and strong enough to haul your ass up to the roof of this building. And then it's easy enough to just grab a whole bunch of trash and make yourself a trash blanket. And you can set up and provide some overwatch. Everybody else, I imagine you are sort of at the entrance of a cul-de-sac area. Little ways down, you can see that big blob of circular housing lots set up down there. On the other side of the street, there's a whole line of other houses, and a series of other smaller cul-de-sacs that just line the next street and the next street and the next street. How would you like to proceed from here? How would you like to sell this distraction or bait out a watcher, as you call them? How would you like to go about it?
Do we have actually have food in this truck to pretend to serve?
Yeah, that's a good point. They've stocked it with some food. Yeah, it's not the best. It's mostly stuff that can be served. Well, just heated up in the microwave. We'll say. So, yeah, you got
Right.
real basic stuff, but it's not going to better the reputation of best served smoking. Let's say.
Well, it's a good thing they're probably not going to get this back in one piece.
Probably. Yeah, I guess we
Set up a
start
distraction.
setting it
sorry.
up, make it look like we're serving food.
So set up the sign, like pull the awning and everything, start getting things set up. If there,
Could I roll a
sorry, if there are people around, is there something I can do to kind of draw in a little bit more people? Just give a bigger crowd, so we have more faces to kind of look in on and see if any of them are part of this.
Yeah, so I think there's a couple ways you can go about
that
doing
actually?
this. Unfortunately, Grim, I think you're a little bit delayed because of your connection. You have something to add?
I think I am too. I finally caught up to everything. Yeah, I was going to ask. So, is this one of those instances like would you consider like the trading skill being like barking for like a carnival barker almost, for like pulling in people for advertisement, trying to get people to the?
I'd let you use it. Yeah. So you could go that route. You could also go
I think
persuasion, let's say. or even acting, depending on who would like to roll and how they would like to go about it. Sounds like Jean had an idea though.
Yeah. So I mean, I have a decent trading, so wouldn't be a bad way of doing it.
Yeah.
While he is pulling people in, I'd like to try and look at the crowd and see if any of them are amongst them. I know we have Elias looking for the Watcher, but I'm trying to keep an eye on the crowd that he's pulling in, seeing if any of them are kind of willing to frog jump, as it were.
Okay. Yeah, just give me a basic perception check then. Or actually, you know what? No. This is human perception. Down under the social skills.
Do you want him to roll first, or do you want me to go?
These are kind of two separate but concurrent things, so the order doesn't much matter. You can roll.
Okay.
I see, Grim, you clicked on trading, and it came up as equipping a skill item, so I'm not sure what you did there. But I can go ahead and roll that for you as well.
Yeah, I saw that. I thought I could. Please do. Thank you. I'm sorry. I think that my system's just not Foundry for some reason.
Well, I yeah, Foundry doesn't always play well with I don't know what sort of rig you're working with, what sort of potato setting you have.
It's an older one than I.
Yeah.
Very
We'll try to chug
unfortunately.
through. But that is a 15 on your trading for try and hawk your wares here and engage with the crowd, and a 15 as well from Crash Cart to keep an eye on the crowd.
Look at us, in sync.
So I think we see Jean
So
being
Jean is
Yeah.
putting his big personality to Jean. He's just a massive personality that's like, food from the bayou, come for you, blah 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 blah, and he's just like rattling off utter nonsense.
all right. Yeah, you are shouting out, engaging with the crowd, trying to pull people in as they walk by. There's not a lot of road traffic around here, not in the time of the red. So there's a lot of pedestrian traffic and whatnot. You can engage them and start waving over some people. Bring out some of the food and try to microwave as much as you can. Open up the back doors, get some of the smells out. And you do start bringing in a bit of the crowd, and you can go about pretending to be food truck entrepreneurs as best as that works out. I don't think anybody's going to be writing a raving review of your service or the quality of your food, but it's enough to keep the ruse up. And I will say, Crash Cart, you do notice it takes a little bit. You're here for a couple hours. But you do notice over down one of the streets every so often, you do see you clock the same individual who just seems to be doing laps around the area. Looks homeless, but I mean everybody out here is technically homeless, even if they are squatting in one of these homes. So there's not much distinguishing about them, but you're sure you've seen them throughout the last couple hours in different places. Keep an eye on the truck.
I'll mention it to Angel, just kind of like nudge them as a kind of move to grab some of the food out the window to your left. Third time around.
Okay, she tells me that. I'll probably make sure keeping an eye out. Well, I'll keep an eye out in that direction. If I see that person come by.
Do I see anything?
Yeah, you guys all have communicators, so it can be mentioned to you that this individual is about, and I can direct your
Yeah.
vision to him.
Oh, cool. The moment that gets pointed out, Riker is. I'm up, kind of in a crouch, and look around, orient, shotgun over my shoulder, pistol in its holster. Just gonna start kind of shuffle jogging to a roof, because I've got an idea about how to get this person, and if I can stay on the roof while I do it, that'd be great.
Well, he's down the street, and these are homes that are kind of cookie cutter, isolated in their own lots. So it's a good 12-foot jump to the next roof.
Okay.
And
You got
without
the legs?
yeah, without cyber legs, and I'm not sure you have. Jump
I do
boosters or
not.
anything.
I
Yeah.
will descend, but I am moving with purpose and speed in his direction, aiming to intercept him on one of his loops.
Are you trying to be stealthy or discreet at all, or are you just barreling up to this individual?
Not going directly towards him, but I'm heading for a point where I'm going to get to that point as he's... If he's circling, I'm heading to a point where I'm going to get there roughly when he does.
Okay, you want to intercept him. All right. Let's I'm gonna ask for a tracking check here, actually, under the
okay.
awareness skills.
Tracking. Hey. 10.
10. Unfortunately, not the best roll. So you are trying to move between these lots. He seems to have taken the street just past where you are set up and is beginning to make his way around that block, which means you have to jump over a fence or two and make your way around and behind some of these other homes. And you do lose track of them for a little bit. You get to the street on the other side of these houses, look around, takes a beat, and you just clock him turning the corner, to take the block. All right, you just want to run him down.
I wanna get to him and start practicing the gentle art of folding clothes while people are still inside them.
Excellent. I like the way you put that. All right, so it looks like you do start charging down the street. You're solo, you are fit, you have some augmentation. We see you barreling down the street, shotgun sort of bobbing where you have it strapped down on your back. You're a big guy, you're an imposing guy, so it does not go unnoticed when you crouch down and start steam engineering your way down the street. And you can throw yourself down this alleyway that this guy tucked into, or down the street that he tucked into. And he does notice as you are coming up, and you see his eyes go wide, and he starts running. So I would like you now to make me an athletics check to see how you catch up to him.
Okay. Dice don't fail me. Dice don't. Fuck! God damn it!
Ooh.
Ah!
Okay.
Oof.
So.
I have a plus
Buddy.
14.
Yeah.
I have a plus 14. Dice. What the fuck?
Doesn't help when you have exploding ones.
Oh.
This is why you know Crash Cart so well.
Crash Cart, actually. Coming back to you, you had a quick conversation about this plan to try to intercept and chase down this individual. You did lose sight of this watcher, as we'll call him, as he took the next street down. But Elias probably does radio in, we got a runner, and you can pivot down to where that street is going to come out on the the perpendicular end from where you are set up. And you do see this sort of scrawny, I mean, you're not sure of the age from this distance, but this scrawny, disheveled person just sprinting out of the alley, down the street, and instead of taking the turn down closer to the food cart, starts booking down the street. Do any of you have any way that you would like to assist this or change the plan? Because he gets quite a distance down the way, though it looks like he's slowing before you see Elias round the corner and start jogging down the street after him.
Should we?
Does he need both his
We
legs?
don't know.
Sorry, I think you both talked at the same time because of the delay there.
Oh, sorry.
Angel, well, have you go first. What did you say?
Sorry.
Should we just run him down? And I'm gonna like hop in the driver's seat, ready to go. The second you guys say, if you guys say yes.
Sounds like Jean also had an idea.
Does he need both of his legs to talk?
Probably not.
Probably not. You have an idea?
So John's gonna reach out into his waistband, pull out a tech modified heavy handgun, and do a shot at his knee, non-lethal. Just going to
Okay. So this is going to be quite an impressive shot because he's down the street and you're doing a cold shot, which is a -8 to the roll. And yeah, let's see. We're doing meters, so meters to yards, football field. You're probably, I'm going to be generous and say he's pushing the edge of the 50-meter range there.
With Elias running after him.
With Elias running after him.
I can make that shot in real life.
Well, let's see if your
I
dice
can make that
agree
shot in
with
real life.
that.
It's fine.
Right. Well,
It's fine.
as we
we'll
know,
do it. Let's see if Jean can. Let's see if Jean can.
Because in real life, I can run someone down
yeah.
pretty easily.
Unfortunately,
Can-
where reality collides with gamified
Right.
numbers, it doesn't always
Yes.
jive.
Can I make a suggestion?
Right.
Of course.
So you and Angel were acting simultaneously. Maybe Angel can start up the car and get us a little bit closer, so the shot can be a little bit easier.
Makes sense.
And
to me.
that is if we are completely giving up the ruse and we're gone.
Yes, this would blow your ruse. If you move the vehicle.
Or we could see if Elias can catch him. Like we because we don't know for sure that this individual. I've just seen them rounding a few times.
Yeah. This
So
could
depends
just
on how
be,
we want to play it.
some average creep. Keeping an eye on
Right.
Could be a weirdo.
This it could just be some. Right. It could just be some runner kid.
Of course, in
I'm
Night
sure
City,
you
people have
used-
been shot for less.
So true.
It's nice.
Elias, can you catch him? Can we say that over the comms to see just how confident you feel in? No, maybe that's not a good judge of character. Because Elias will probably say yes.
I will say,
Crash
though,
cart.
Elias, you are the solo of the group. You are very physically fit. You got tripped up somewhere along the way in the space of time when the camera lost track of you behind the buildings. You must have, slipped on some garbage or, had to juke out of the way of a dog or something. That's what slowed you down. You are so much more athletic and so much faster than this person, and you are quickly gaining ground on this individual. The failure of the roll, though, did tip off that something is going on here, and has given him time to do whatever this running watcher, whoever he is going to do. But you can. I would like you to now Elias, give me a brawling check as you try to just ram into him and grapple him.
Brawling instead of martial arts?
This would particularly be brawling because brawling is based on grappling, choking, and throwing. Martial arts is
See, because like judo, like
yeah. Normally, I would not take time to stop, and you don't have the actual martial arts techniques ready for you, do you?
so let me go down to the old brr.
Because I do believe.
Wait,
you
is
get
that
to pick.
available? Is that available on the compendium or?
I actually think martial arts techniques are one of the few things that is not in the compendium on Foundry.
Okay, well the good.
Weird.
Let me just scroll down.
Yeah, I'm not seeing it unless it's hidden under some other folder. But I'm not going to worry about going through all of them. The way martial arts works in Red is that it actually gives you a list of moves to choose from that give you, certain
Yeah, so
extra actions or techniques.
Yeah, so I'm looking. I have. I have this in the app, not on the.
Gotcha.
But I shuffled things around, like we discussed earlier. I have a couple points in karate, and I have a couple points in judo. And what I have in karate that I think might be relevant is bone breaking strike.
Okay. That is certainly one way to get an individual to stop. If you break his legs, he's probably not going to keep running.
Yep.
And he's scrawny, so not a lot of muscle to punch through,
Yeah.
I guess.
All right, so make me a martial arts check then with -8 because it does say here that you take -8 for a cold shot.
Okay. Beep beep curve. That's an 11.
That seems incorrect.
I typed in
with
for
the
modifier
okay.
-8, and I already had a minus. Yeah.
Yes, from your flak armor. That's what it is. So with
Yes.
a -12. Okay. So, the way this is going to play out, you do manage to catch up to him. And you are barreling down the street. You get into this position to launch yourself at the individual, go for the legs, sort of bring them down, roll, and just pop the kneecap out on the way. Unfortunately, your technique is good, but you are fully geared up in your runner attire. If you were doing this, street clothes, you would have had no problem. But it's this heavy flak vest that you have on and the knee pads and whatnot. You just don't have the full range of mobility that you are used to using for these much more precise martial arts techniques. And you throw yourself at this individual instead of really being able to catch them and get those fulcrum points to control the movement. You just slam into them, and the two of you go rolling on the ground. You do hear something snap. You're not exactly sure what it was, but you hear something inside this poor individual snap as you just tumble along the ground. He lets out a howl and starts sobbing disgustingly. But you have him.
Come up out of the tumble, one hand on the ground, kind of crouched. Right hand comes up and just claws, just ready to go at him.
Hey, no, please, don't. I'm just.
No talking yet. Gonna ask you some questions when my friends get here. Huh?
He nods slowly.
Just kind of turn my hand over, reach out, and with the tip of the claws, just kind of tip his face up towards me. Feeling hungry? Hungry, yes?
Do you like push the claws so he nods a bit?
Oh, I'm not so much pushing the claws, but it's if he tries to dip his head, it's gonna start digging a little painfully into the soft skin under the jaw.
Yeah, he just kind of he doesn't want to do the full nod because there's knives under his chin, but he kind of does the Batarian sort of sideways nod for you.
You know the Raffen, yeah?
I know of them.
Kind of move a little closer so I'm kind of over him. Claws come back, just rest my fist kind of companionably on his thigh. You know how to reach them?
His eyes go a little bit wider. I know how to. I don't. If
just gonna extend the claws like half an inch.
you stab him a little bit in the jaw. I know somebody. I don't know if they're Raffen. I just food trucks come by. I let them know. That's all. That's all, Choom. That's all.
How do you let them know, Choom? Feeling real friendly.
He sort of like nods down in his jacket. I got it. I got an old agent.
Just reach over, start going through his pockets.
Yeah, you can, shove your hands inside the jacket and start roughing him up, moving him all around as you dig in there. And this is like one of those big, like, army surplus store, like, cargo pants and jacket form type jacket. There's pockets everywhere. Some of them aren't even, like, official pockets. You just see the inner lining has been cut and stitched in a few places to add extra pockets. So it's a mess in here. You pull out all kinds of junk. Some of it you're not even sure what it is. You get like just a whole bunch of food wrappers and stuff. It's disgusting in here. But you do eventually pull out this real old looking agent. And the first thing you notice is that it is on, and that there is a call going through. And as you notice that, the three of you down in Best Served Smoking hear the wheels screeching of some vehicle as it quickly swerves, drifts around the turn down the road, starts barreling towards you. Three of you here, actually I will say, Waverly, you are in the driver's seat. And, food trucks don't really have a rear view mirror. You can only see so much from the side views. But for Crash Cart and for Jean-Jean, you can quickly spin your head and you can see there is a big sort of gunmetal gray, very similar style truck to your own, except it has this big plow on the front, a few metal spikes sticking off of it. It's gone full Mad Max, this other vehicle. And you can just see on the side of it, before things kick off here. Where am I? Here we are. You can see just on the side of it, street chunks. Painted in just dripping, streaked, big brush red paint along the side.
Pardon, did you say chunks?
Yes, street chunks.
Cool, just checking, just looking for clarification.
Yes. A good clarification, I'm sure. So there's a series of things that are going to happen very quickly here. First of all, I think we can start by getting ourselves in. I can get all these tokens placed, and we can click for initiative. So let me pull some things out. If you would be so kind, everybody, to click on your token, and then roll for initiative. Which where's that on this sheet? Is that an easy roll? I believe it's just a dex check, I believe.
Okay. Dip, dip.
So you can just click on dexterity. And if it's not, that's how we're doing it. Because unfortunately, I only play this game about 3 or 4 times a year. And I'm going to do the same. My folks here, baddies, so let me get them set up in the tracker.
They don't need an initiative.
You said dex.
And actually, if you could, instead of clicking that, let's just have everybody right-click on their token. And one of the symbols there is a sword, 2 swords crossed between a shield. That will add you to the combat state.
Cool.
Right. And I will. I'm just for the ease of going forward, Grim. I'm just going to take care of Foundry aspects for you because it doesn't seem to be working well.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're a real robot-y, Choom. I don't know how well this is holding up for you. My apologies. Since everybody got in during our session 0 and things were more or less okay, I figured we were gonna work out. But now, if you go over to the tab that is 2 crossed swords up on the side, you can that is the combat encounter. You can then just go over to your portrait and click on the die next to it, and it should roll initiative for everyone. So once get Grim's character.
Yay, my initiative was better this time.
I get to not be embarrassed by myself.
So I don't like what one of the baddies rolled.
Yeah.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
All right. So we're not going to worry about a battle map just yet, because things can go a number of different directions at the moment. But first thing you notice, I would like... let's see. Jean is probably the one who is most out and about, being the hulker of the group. But Crash Card, where do you see yourself situated during all of this? Are you in the car, down the street? Where are you?
In the cart. I was actually wondering if there's a there should be like a hood, right? Like a place where you can like push open the hood.
You mean the actual hood of the car, open up, check out the engine sort of hood?
No, so like when you're in a van, like sometimes they have like a roof access vent. Do we have one? If not, then I'm near like a window.
It doesn't have one. It has one of those, it has like an emergency one like you would get on school buses that only open up for like little tiny people to squeeze through. That is mostly just there for venting air. You could try to like punch that out and get through it, but it might just be easier to lean out the like food delivery big window on the side. But since you are inside the van at this point, that means...
I'm listening for. Sorry.
Yes, we will get around to your turn shortly. I just needed to know where you were positioned to see who I'm shooting.
Oh, I'm in the
van. So let's see. Where is my driver here? And I have multiple instances of the same token. Why is that? Where is my driver? Driver. Are you my driver? You are Foodie 3. Are you my driver? You're my driver. Alright, so she's got on Street Chunks here. Let me actually kick on the combat music for a moment.
I'm gonna laugh every time you say street chunks.
Street Chunks.
Just sounds so unappetizing.
Alright, we're changing playlists, folks, so do let me know if we need to adjust the music. But Street Chunks does have an onboard machine gun as well, and is going to open up on Jean. Let's see, which for some reason is
Bye,
not
John.
in her inventory. So let me grab a very basic machine gun. Could have swore this was in here. Where's my weapons tab? There we are, and we can. It's not just called a machine gun.
Assault.
We'll go with yeah.
I think is what it's in the system.
I guess it is. All right, we'll drop that in there.
And it would have been tech rebuilt also. So.
We're not gonna get too down in the nitty gritty for things here. We're playing a little fast and loose, just to keep us moving.
No, I got it.
Alright, so let me fire away, shooting full auto. And let's target Jean here. There you are. Pull that back up, and fire. Now, what did we get there? That was only a 12, which is certainly outside the DV range for it where it needs to be. So you are good, Jean.
Yep.
All right. How do I progress this forward? Next turn. There we go. Oh, I see how this works. I'm used to using it for Lancer, which doesn't have initiative. All right. So we are going to keep this a little fast and loose here. This was just to see how a series of events goes about. Elias, unfortunately, you are well down the street at this point. Well down the street. And grappling, rummaging through this individual, and you do notice the squeal of tires and the patter of a machine gun behind you. What do you do?
Just as a matter of principle, I clobber the guy with the agent, just so whoever is on the other end is just gonna hear donk of impact,
Yeah.
and then I'm booking it back the way I came towards my friends.
All right. Well, in that big heavy flak attire that you're wearing, you're not the most mobile character, so it's going to take you some time to get back to the food truck. The other two of you that are in the van and Jean outside, collectively, what would you like to do? Because they are still down the street, but they are barreling towards you in this vehicle.
Do they look like they're about to ram us in the vehicle?
They might be crazy enough to do that. They have a big spiked plow on the front of it.
Well, I'm gonna get
Hey, Jack.
this on and move.
Okay, so Angel, you're starting up the car, getting ready to move. All right, noted. Jean.
Would you consider a windshield?
Would I consider a windshield? It does have a windshield. I don't know if you're freezing.
Thin cover.
Thin cover. I'm not going to worry too much about cover, not from windshields. The book does state that you can
Perfect.
shoot through windshields.
Perfect. Drawing pistol, and as it approaches, because everything's all about style for Jean, gonna try to shoot the driver.
Okay. All right. I will remind you, the intent here is to find out where they are located in the Badlands, whether that is chasing them to that location, or if you think you can, beating the location out of them. But killing the driver is an option, if a risky one. They are, however, well down the street at this point. You could take another
Fair.
shot at extreme pistol range.
And that
Or you could wait, but if you do wait, you would be outside of the vehicle, when it approaches, and should Angel decide to start driving away.
no, I'm gonna go ahead and hop into the vehicle.
All right. You can hop in the passenger side, because it sounds like CC is in the back. And if you would like to, you can hang out the window, Cyberpunk style, and get ready to shoot.
Oh, 100.
All right. CC, Crash Cart, what do you got going on?
And instead of the, I'll be aiming for one of the tires.
Gotcha. All right. Crash Cart.
I'm going to try and see if I can get. I'm closing the back doors, obviously, because we are about to go, and I don't want to fall out. Closing the back doors, and I'm going to go ahead and pull down the the awning and stuff like that, so we can close that up, make us a little bit more aerodynamic. I know we're not the fastest.
All right. Well, fortunately, it does seem that they are in a very similar truck to your own. So they probably don't have much more speed than you do. So now I think the question falls to our Nomad here. They might be trying to ram you. They might also just pull up, get out, and try to chase you off. That seems to be their MO, but it could go either way depending on how crazy these Raffen feel like today. What would you do? Would you try to get out, engage, start the car, drive away? What's your plan?
Well, if we got Jean ready at the window with the gun, I'm gonna try and book it directly at them, looking like I'm about to ram into them, but like veer to the side so that he can then shoot into their window.
Okay. I would like to start by you giving me a luck roll to see if you were facing their direction.
That's fair.
Because I was imagining they were coming at you from your rear, but it could go either way.
Let's see.
Not with a six. You're not that lucky.
Nope.
They are indeed. Some loud music. Sorry, folks. Sorry, headphone users. They are indeed coming at you from your rear.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna keep the car like on and ready to go. You know, at a moment's notice, if they look like they're about to hit us. But I guess I might get my handgun. I could probably be able to reach them because it's a far shot to try and shoot them from here,
At
right?
this point, yeah. Yeah, a vehicle can move 20 squares in a turn, so they're at least 40 feet away, 40 meters away.
Okay, so I'm gonna get the car ready to go, like put it in drive, foot on the brake, and then have my heavy pistol also out, and just watching them in the rearview mirror. The second they look like they're about to ram, I'm gonna try and, if they look like they're gonna hit me, I'm gonna try and like move and book it as fast as I can to like turn and head towards them.
Okay. Well, even being modified by Nomads, a van probably doesn't have a high acceleration speed. So you might not be able to accelerate out of a ram if you wait for them. But we'll see how that goes. Because they do indeed seem to step on the acceleration as opposed to braking. It looks like they are coming in to scoop you up with that plow. I would like you to give me a drive check to see how well you can sort of mitigate this ram, since you did see it coming. Ooh, that is a 1. Get back to the dice log here.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Angel.
Not great.
Not great. Not great. Even with an
I thought
impressive
it was
modifier.
just me.
No.
It's like I got a plus 14 there.
All right. So
Now you know how I feel.
Yes, it happened earlier.
the camera cuts from we start with a split screen of the three of you inside the vehicle, your weapons drawn, getting ready to engage, sweat beating down your brow. And there's a quick cut as the camera seems to be attached to the side of Street Chunk's food truck as it barrels down the street. You can see the houses go by, trash flying in the breeze, and rapidly approaching your food truck, best served smoking. And then, boom, there is a collision from this spiked plow at the front of their food truck, straight into the back of yours. Fortunately, Cece, you closed those doors, you closed the awning, and you were able to brace yourself. But I am going to be rolling 6d6 now for this vehicle collision. 6d6 damage.
Can I say, just for fun things, like, that while I was going to drive, I was also eating, like, I don't know what we have here, hot dog? A cart hot dog. That's why I just, like, totally beefed it, 'cause it's like two eating a hot dog.
Right.
You get hungry.
Yeah, oh yeah, and you got food around. So,
Blood sugar's important.
oh yeah, it's very important, especially when you're about to get into a firefight. So,
Can't die on an empty stomach.
if I could have somebody with either a notepad opened or whatnot keep track of vehicle health for me, because that's the one thing Foundry doesn't really keep track of very well. Your vehicle has 70
That's
health.
the least I could do.
So you start off with 70 health. You have an armored. It's an armored vehicle, so it has a stopping power, an armor rating of 13. So it is going to eat up 13 of this 23 damage, and then ablate that armor down to 12 points of armor, and the vehicle is going to take 10 points of damage. So from 70 down to 60. Ramming does not trigger weak spot. No. So that's not bad. However, the three of you on the inside are jolted forward. You were bracing yourself. You knew it was coming more or less, but this vehicle impacted with you, probably going a good 40-50 miles an hour. It was a big hit, and they're feeling the brunt of it too. You can see the plow. It sort of got snagged on something, and there's a curve, there's a bend to one of the points on the edge of it. And both of your vehicles sort of pop and skid and drift a little bit, so you're now kind of perpendicular with the normal flow of the street, the two of you, as ramming into your own armored vehicle did bring them to a stop. However, everybody involved in the collision now suffers the whiplash critical injury condition. All that means it doesn't apply any status penalties or anything. It just raises your death save, let's call it. It is called a death save. It raises your death save by 1. So on your sheet, you can go down to death save. You can click on that up arrow, and that'll be for everybody but Elias, who is not in the vehicle. Alright, from this point, I'm not going to worry too terribly much about initiative, because we are presumably... Well, I will throw this to you. You guys... Because right now, both of your vehicles are stopped. You don't know what their intentions are, but you could choose to get out of your vehicles and try to engage them, try to take them down here, and figure out some way to figure out where they are, where they came from. Or you can give them time, see what they're going to do, see if they drive off. You might want to take some shots at them, because right now, you do just seem like their usual food truck fare.
Elias is still steaming
I
its
think-
way back.
Yeah.
I think that Jean will lean himself around the corner and purposely not aiming at the driver. But if there's a passenger, however, he will aim at the passenger.
All right. Go ahead and give me a. Well, I will do that for you because it is just quicker and
Thank you.
easier. So that is a handguns
Thank you.
check. This is very close. Yeah. So even with the die roll of a 2, that is a 16 total. As all of your cameras disappear. There we go. That does hit. I did not have
Perfect.
my foodie 1 targeted. Unfortunately, I'm failing my own boundary job here. But let's go ahead and we can roll that damage. Roll that damage. Oh, yeah, I'm still not seeing gear on your character sheet. What sort of pistol is this?
It was a very heavy handgun.
Okay, which is, what, 4d6 damage?
46.
John, 4d6. Alright, 14 damage through armor, soaks 4, a blade down. So that does 10 damage to the passenger, which is a good chunk. Yeah, you slam a few shots into the torso area, and it does look like he was armored, but you can just see in the commotional of this that he does lean forward, and he looks like he's very much winded, probably bleeding a little. Cece.
I think that Cece is gonna go and kind of not necessarily climb, but like move herself in between where John was and take another pot shot at the same individual.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me that shot. Actually, before we move on narratively, I'm gonna be ramping up the narrative pace of things because we only have so much time.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know which one it was that you said, the one that's circled, yeah?
Yes, correct. Check and see if we got any donations. I'm not seeing that percentage moving up, folks. Let's get some exclamation point donate in the chat here. I will remind anybody watching, because we've had some viewers cycling in and out, we are supporting the Lionheart Mutual Aid Fund. I have a dear choom. I'm not even going to use the Cyberpunk term. I have a dear friend, an actual friend. I know this person, lovely person, friend of the channel, stars on many shows on this channel, who is in need, who is about to lose their home. So if you can donate to the Ko-Fi just linked in chat, that would mean so much to all of us involved, especially him, but also to me, because I don't want to lose one of my star actors. All right, what do we got here? Unfortunately, yeah, that is a miss. But the sheer fact that you guys are firing back, and at least one of you has done some serious damage to the passenger here, they now know that this is not your typical food truck nomad entrepreneurs. You are a team that is willing to fight back and seemingly more capable than those they have bothered before. I'm going to ask, just as a group. Oh no. No, I'm going to say you hear their engine rev up again, and their back tires squealing, and they push, almost kind of slowly, push the front of your vehicle, spin you out of the way as they start booking down the road as fast as a food truck can book down the road. And we are going to enter
Chase
our...
them.
Yes, I figured you were going to chase them. So we are going to enter tonight's car chase section
Can
of
we
our
scoop up our friend?
Yes, of course.
Well, so question, are we going towards him, and can Jean do a cool like arm grab and pull him into the truck?
Absolutely.
Super stylish, just because.
Love it.
I mean, if both trucks are coming, oh god, oh no, I have an impulse.
Do it.
Okay.
Not that
I-
hand. Use the other
This is
hand.
the game to feed. This is the game
No.
to feed the impulses.
I have an If both
Do
trucks are coming at me, can I just as kind of move to the side, and as the Raffen truck is coming, like full claw extension, and just punch my arm out low, like either aiming to hook my arm and therefore myself in metal to like, I'm coming with you motherfuckers, or get a tire.
Okay. I will ask you, which are you going for, the tire or the hook?
Hook.
I'm going for hook, and I'm
Feed the
aiming for
impulse.
I'm aiming for a door. I'm aiming for the passenger door. I'm just trying to hook.
Yeah,
Like,
we are.
If I
Okay.
get his leg on the way in, that's great. I'm
Bonus points.
punching for the door.
Yeah, bless it with the spare. It'll be fine.
Go ahead and give me an athletics check here, because it's not about hitting the vehicle so much as actually staying on the vehicle once you do. Oh, nice. That's an exploding 10.
Oh,
That is a 27.
Yeah.
Preem!
Yes.
Yeah, it is.
Preem tunes. Preem.
Yeah, it is.
And we see exactly what you were going for. You crouch down. You're doing the Wolverine thing right now. You extend your blades. You jump into the side of the truck and plunge your blades into the passengers.
I think, like, into the passenger side door, and my non-blade hand, my meat hand, is just grabbing like the side view mirror mount,
Yeah.
and just like.
Yes, you are lodged in there with your blade. You have a nice hold on the rear view mirror, and we probably see you just creeping, pulling yourself up against the momentum. We just see your eyes break over the horizon of the window there as the camera zooms over, and we just see the passenger clutching their chest, blood dripping out of the leathers that they're wearing. Their eyes just go wide as we see the top of your face, wild, near cyber psycho eyes, cresting over.
Hi, friends.
Now, let me ask you guys as a group before we get into the car chase here, because this is a one-shot. Would you guys like a quick break, or should we push on through to 10 o'clock?
Go. As far as I'm
I'm
concerned.
fine.
All right. Of course, if anybody
Why-
does need to step
why
away,
did it here?
grab a drink, go to the bathroom, feel free to get up as long as it's not your turn.
I
But
don't know about a drink, but I've got a plate of food
nice,
that,
excellent.
that I
Oh,
haven't
you lucky bastard.
touched.
We are here for the food
Look,
tonight.
I
Told
haven't
everyone to
eaten
come
in
hungry.
9 hours. I'm hungry.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
Mood.
All right. So, moving on to the car chase section of tonight's events. I'm going to break this up into essentially 3 rounds. I'm going to do this a lot more narratively than necessarily getting bogged down in initiative order and combat. This first round, the Raffens peel off in their street chunks vehicle and just begin swerving down street by street, taking these corners as fast as they can, whipping down streets, down other streets, going through this sort of cross section, checker box layout of suburbia here, making their way back down closer up towards the Haywood area and back into Night City proper. This is going to be a contested drive check from Waverly here against their driver, and I will let the other the other 2 passengers here and our Klingon on the other vehicle decide what they would like to do during this first car chase round.
Go, Angel, go. Okay.
So Can I do a vehicle tech roll? And this will take my turn to do this. Observing, because I have a tech scanner in my cyber eye, to scan their vehicle to find a place to shoot that will not stop the car but slow it down.
Stop the car, but not slow it down. I mean,
No,
tires would probably...
slow it down but not stop it. Slow it down but not stop it.
Right.
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Sorry. I was thinking the same thing, but we both got our directions crossed there.
Yeah.
I could have swear I set all these music volumes. Yeah. Go ahead and give me a roll. What are the other two of you doing?
I just want to cause chaos. Anything I can do to be distracting, annoying, and
Do you
disruptive.
have a grenade you can throw in there?
No.
No.
We need
but-
to track the car.
No, but if I
But
can
chaos.
provoke them into crashing it, that would... Like, I don't know if it would help to just start, like, just claw punching into the car and
Look,
just
I'm not gonna lie.
causing
If
disruption
there's
and
any survivors
chaos.
from the crash, we can just tell them, look, if you don't answer our questions, we'll feed you to a lion. They'll believe it at this point.
Yeah, perhaps.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that's the question. Can I start, with my claws, can I start trying to carve, like, through the door?
I will say the window is down. They were getting ready to lean out and
Oh, cool.
deal with you.
I
So
want
you
to,
can.
I want to go through the window.
Yeah. Do you
I
want
wanna
to actually
go,
like
like,
climb
"Hi,
through the window?
friends."
Okay.
Yeah, I want to start, like claw arm first, just, like, swinging my arm through the window and just start, like, trying to drag myself into the passenger's lap, like, claws first.
All right. Give me a melee check there for your boulders.
That is a 14.
That is a 14. So they're gonna roll their evasion. They're not terribly good at this. A 13. They rolled fairly well, but two less than they needed. So you do manage to pull yourself up, like the top half of yourself, into the vehicle. The rest of you three over in Best Served Smoking can see Elias's ass hanging out the side of their vehicle,
His legs are just
flapping
kicking.
in the breeze. Yep.
That one crazy man. I love him.
But
Just over the comms, Cece's like, we need at least one alive. We need at least one alive. We need at least one alive.
Don't kill the driver.
But
You can eat the rest.
does that include tagging the passenger with my slices?
yeah, I will say you could just straight deal damage by slicing at him. You could grab him and try to like chuck him out the truck. Subdue
Oh
him,
no,
whatever you
I'm
wanna do.
just Cuisinart. I'm
Okay.
in Cuisinart mode.
Go ahead and roll damage for the Wolvers then.
Okay. I have precision attack. But I think that's supposed to apply to the attack roll itself.
Well, you hit regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let's cut a bastard.
And this is rate of fire 2, so just go ahead and roll twice. I'm not gonna worry about
Okay.
a second attack roll. We're keeping things narrative here.
Total 16.
Alright, not great on the first hit, but pretty good
Nope.
on the second. Now, melee goes halfway through their armor, which was only 3. I'll round down 2, so it only absorbs 1, so it does 4 damage. Yeah, you do Cuisinart this guy. You sink your blades into him, rip the leathers off of him, and I'm not gore for the sake of gore, but you're going full Wolverine as the camera spins out of the side of the truck as we just see blood and gore splatter out of the passenger side window as the camera moves away from the graphic content and back to our food truck.
Well, he was getting hungry anyways.
to go for a tire,
Okay, you want to try to
Sorry.
shoot a tire.
if possible. I'm not the best shot, but
Okay.
I'd like to try.
An aim shot does come with a -8 penalty.
All right. Technically, have to add the or to take it away.
Let's see here. I think there's when you click on the attack roll, you can yeah, I think you just need to manually type in under additional mods -8. Oh, actually, no. There's a aim toggle you can click.
Ooh.
Either way works.
There's head, held item, and leg. Leg is like the -2. Yeah, there we go. -8. There we go. Oh.
Ooh, that's a 1.
No.
It's a -1.
Yeah.
No.
The shot goes wide, unfortunately. I think we do see you lean out the side of the food truck. Not entirely sure the direction you are going, because you're back in the food prep area, just trying to lean out the service window to shoot around. So you don't realize that you are leaning out of the truck to take the shot as Waverly is about to take this corner, drift this corner down into Night City proper. Now, scrolling back up on the log here, yeah, that was a 20 drive check versus their 15. So you do easily catch up to them. They did have a lead on you a bit, but you do easily catch up to them, and you can maintain quite a good distance. You can be bumper to bumper if you want. You can even start trying to overtake them if you would like to do that, but you are presumably chasing them back to their den. But you are more or less in control of drive right now.
I think I'm gonna like keep some distance. Like I don't want to be like 2-ish car lengths away, like very close enough that I could close that pretty fast.
All right.
But like I want them to think they're outrunning us a bit.
Yes. All right.
You know, to go back to where they're from.
Nice, nice. So, at this point, we are moving out of the overcrowded, slummy area of the suburbs of Night City and into the inner highways. So we see this Raffen food truck, spikes, plow, all of this Mad Max nonsense, drift into the main traffic of Night City. And it's the time of the red, so it's not nearly as heavy as we may remember from the video game up in 77, but there is still traffic here in the inner city. So they screech into the traffic here, slam into a vehicle, that vehicle crashes into another vehicle. There is a full accident going on, and it takes the nearby ramp up into one of the highways that is snaking out around the tip of Haywood and back in over the bay. So, where are we? Food truck wars. The second round, the highway. You are keeping up with them. At this point, you are moving in and out of other vehicles, swerving through different lanes. Sometimes they even drive into oncoming traffic, whether it's just because they're crazy or they're trying to lose you. But you do manage to keep up with them, and you notice they take a turn now outside of the inner city, back onto another loop that is going to take them down towards the southern tip, if I'm remembering my map correctly, down towards the southern tip, just past, really not far from where you came from. They kind of took you in a big, crowded circle and are making their way back down to access back into the Badlands. But you get onto, and I assume everybody is taking shots here or there, doing some damage to the vehicle, doing some damage to those in the enemy truck. But you are, this is a chase, is the intent here. You do swerve onto another ramp leading down this time. But it doesn't seem that they are content to take the road, and there's construction off to one side. They veer off the side of this this interstate ramp and make that jump down onto down onto a lane underneath of this overpass ramp.
Can I, at a dramatically appropriate moment,
Mm-hmm.
I'm assuming at this point I'm kind of in the lap of the Cuisinarted passenger.
Mm-hmm.
I want to just swipe down. Don't like this dating app. I want to potentially sever or cripple the driver's arm, the arm closest to me. I want to mess with his ability to drive.
Okay, so there are, like I said, there's some time going in the way here. There are two other individuals in this truck you are in a brawl at this point as they are trying to keep you contained. So it is kind of 2 against 1. You're still half hanging out the window because there's not really a lot of room in here because there's a dead, slippery, blood-soaked body and a rather cramped seating well here. So you are not in the best tactical position. You are doing everything you can to fend off these attacks from everybody else. They're coming at you with kitchen knives, with their own small pistols and whatnot, but as a solo, you were able to just grab the dead guy and hold him up as a shield, slap knives away and whatnot. It is full melee in the passenger side of this food truck.
That is opportunity attacks with claws at anyone who gets, anyone I think I can claw.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
getting it.
I will say, if you are okay with taking some damage from the 2 that are trying to keep you contained, you can make an attack against the driver.
Hell yes. I've got Crash Card. Crash Card can fix me up from anything.
Oh yeah.
I love your faith in my abilities.
All right. Yeah, go ahead and give me, I presume this is melee with the Wolvers again.
Yep. Wolvers are my favorite terrain, or something. I don't know.
I'll do another evasion roll.
That's an 18.
An 18 versus their 16. They're rolling surprisingly well, but still just not good enough for professional runners. Yes, let's resolve this. However, they're gonna be taking some shots at you. Yeah, you're not in the best position here, so you're just going to have to soak this. You really can't dodge, and it's point blank at this point. It's point blank against a semi-restrained individual. So one of them is going to just hit you with 2 counts of their rippers. And I should have had you selected for them, but I didn't select that. You know what? I'm going to roll that again, actually, just so I can apply this using the automation. We'll see if it turns out better or worse for you.
Better.
Still targeting the foodie. You selected. Rippers one more time. Still getting used to Cyberpunk Foundry, folks.
Less good. Less good. Less good.
We will apply that damage, so that's it automatically goes through your roll ability and your armor. So you take nothing, but it did ablate some of your armor. Their second Ripper attack, a little bit better. Let's see if it goes through your armor this time. 1 damage goes through your armor, and I'm presuming it is ablating. I believe it has the automation for that. So let's close that down and head to foodie number 2 here. You are still selected, and they're going to take a shot with their heavy pistol. A not great roll, really. You got lucky there. Taking 0 damage, but it is continuing to ablate your armor.
Okay.
Yes, it is. Okay. What did you roll against this driver?
So for damage, I rolled a 12.
12 and a 9, right? I'm seeing
Yes.
here?
Yes.
Alright. Excellent. Let me apply that manually to the driver. Now, I will ask, I don't know if it's going through yet, but I will ask, no, you have less than 10 humanity. You're practically a cyber psycho. I'm not going to ask you whether you're intending to kill this individual or not. If you can, you are going to. So that is 12 damage through their core armor. It is going to ablate, dealing 9 damage. That puts
End
them
goal
down
is the
to
truck
11.
crashes.
And then another 9 is going to absorb 3, ablate down to 2, does 8 damage. Yeah, so they have very little HP left. You can see you did actually slice through their right arm, and it is just dangling limply to their side. They let out a howl, and as they are going about to hit the jump point off of this this on-ramp, this out-ramp, down-ramp, whatever it's called, they let out a howl and just jerk the steering wheel, and they are in a very bad position to actually make this drive check. So I'm going to make their drive check with considerable penalties.
I think everyone anyone in range of hearing just hears Elias cackling yell, "Keep your eyes on the road!"
We're hearing all this over our little, communicators.
You're just hearing screaming gunshots.
All that Elias is hearing is just one alive, just one alive, just one alive.
Yeah.
I just need one.
Alright, so not only are they taking penalties from their wound state, I'm also giving them a negative 4. So they have a negative 6 for this to work out for them. Angel, I would like you to also make me a drive check, presuming you are following them in their jump off of the ramp. Unless you would like to take the long way around and risk losing them.
Don't roll one. Don't roll one.
I'm just gonna look behind me like, hold on, chooms, and then just like go to let's jump. There you go. Yeah.
Alright, yeah, 24.
Smooth.
Easy. We see their food truck hit the barrier that was set up. Part of it was removed. It seemed like they were doing maintenance on one of the structural support areas or underneath the ramp. So they had that section of the barrier removed. They were going to jump through that, but there is a commotion in the Street Chunks vehicle, and it actually hits the side of the barrier and spins and flips its way out of the ramp here instead of making the clear jump. So it goes careening in a really odd angle down and slams into the ground. But it does, because of the vehicle's weight, and it wasn't that bad of a hit considering the speed and momentum and the weight. They do land eventually on their tires and can keep driving away. But the vehicle is going to take a considerable amount of damage, as is yours, because you are effectively ramming the ground. That is a nice chunk of damage out of their vehicle. Should we fix that? Let me open that again. But when we see their vehicle really sloppily sort of fall out of this jump, we instead see Best Served Smoking, this red paint-chipped truck, just shoot itself off of this ramp, and you don't get a lot of air, but the camera's going to just lower itself down enough that it is cinematically flattering as we see your vehicle positioned careening over some of the buildings underneath. Sun out in the background, just beginning to look out into the desert of the Badlands outside of the city as it follows you down, and you slam down onto the ground, wheels first, taking considerably less damage. Grim, if you could mark 14 points of damage on your vehicle, they took 28. And again, you are in control of this drive. but they are quickly making their way out of the city. They are not driving well at this point. One of their tires has blown out, and they are trying to keep themselves from swerving. I'm going to move us a little bit further ahead because there's still another section of this run that I want us to at least get to, and we can narrate ourselves out if we run out of time. But we see the 2 trucks here. The first one swerving jerkily in and out down the dusty Badlands Road. We see the red Best Served Smokin' food truck keeping good pace behind them. Still occasionally you guys leaning out, taking shots. Does anyone... Well, yeah, see, things did get a little complicated here when our solo invited himself inside of a moving vehicle. So, we'll see. Things are going a little sideways, as they always do when you bring players into a story. Oh,
I'm just like that one hungry dog when you left the window down and you had treats in the car.
yeah, no, that's fair.
Hello? Hello? Have treats?
Yeah, it's your
Have
fault
treats?
for leaving. It's your fault for leaving treats in the car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotcha. Elias, it is entirely in your ability to just kill this driver, if you would choose to do so.
I
No,
mean,
but
you
do
guys
have a
said
constant
you
reminder
wanted
in your
to
ear,
be-
don't kill the driver.
but I also
Why?
hear we just need one alive,
Yep.
and I'm gonna bring the vehicle to a stop. You know what? I'm being asked not to kill the driver, but the driver doesn't need his gas pedal leg, right?
You have so much faith in my abilities. You have so much faith in me.
So recognizing that he doesn't need his gas pedal leg to live, and therefore talk to us, kind of like what I did to his arm, but just gonna start kind of punching towards his seat. Aiming for the thigh. I don't care if I hit an artery, just kind of like chop, 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 chop. There's a leg here, it's a big target. Gimme.
Okay.
I want a drumstick.
You're gonna suffer a few more attacks as you do so, but we might not be following these guys back to their den because it seems like this car is about to have a very sudden and messy stop. A few attacks go through and really do nothing to you except ablate your armor further. Let me just get all of these applied. You do actually take 3 damage, which should be applying to your sheet automatically.
Yep.
And another shot from this pistol. This is solos in Cyberpunk, just straight tanking rippers and very heavy pistols. And this is actually a solid hit, however. They rolled real good there. So you're going to take 13 points of damage. So you do manage... You actually managed to pull yourself all the way into the passenger side. You're kind of scrunched up, crouched up, feet against the door here. And you sort of bat away one attack, but one of them grabs your arm. You take that opportunity, just full Cyber Psycho gleam in your eyes, and just Wolverine down into the meaty part of the driver's thigh. And then the camera, everything sort of goes in slow motion as we see one of these other Raffen just take this very heavy pistol and just shove it up inside your flak jacket, and there is a splatter of blood as you take 13 damage.
I think at this point, right, I just start like, just like cackling, adrenaline cackling. There's blood leaking out of my mouth, and just cackling. Fist comes up, claws out, blood everywhere, and just punch down.
All right, Angel, you are following this food truck into the Badlands, the deserts outside of Night City. You've seen Elias disappear inside the vehicle. You have no idea what's going on except for the maniacal cackling and screaming coming through your agents. And then you see the vehicle swerve but it doesn't make any attempt to correct, as going almost 70 miles an hour, this vehicle swerves, goes sideways, and starts rolling. Elias, you are not in a good position right here, my choom. You are not wearing your seatbelt.
Can I just like starfish out and like claw anchor on like the interior superstructure? Just starfish.
We're gonna see how this goes, and because we're only half an hour away from our intended stop point, I'm not pulling any punches here anymore. You brought this on yourself.
Yes!
But Waverly, I would like you to make me a drive check to do an emergency stop before you slam into the side of this vehicle and crash along with them.
Okay.
I must do it.
This is why we had this.
But
Witness me.
25, easy. You slam on the brakes, swerve just a little bit out of the way without, spinning yourselves. But you do have to come to a stop, as all of you in this vehicle come to the realization that you are not following them back to the Raffen den, because this truck is just rolling down the highway, off of the road, into a ditch, up over a dune, down into another ditch.
Crash Cart, you have suppressants for Elias. So he's about to go full cyber psycho.
So this one's
The
dead.
cackling just continues. Just the.
Where are we?
Depends on how
This
far
one's
gone.
dead.
I mean, it's cackling combined with variations of ouch and fuck.
Let me roll some things for our Raffen here to see if anybody survives this car crash.
God, I hope someone survives.
Okay, so that's
One.
a
I
fail on
just
their
one. I
evasion.
just need one.
We just need one.
All
We've
right,
got
he's
jumper
dead.
cables. We've got jumper cables.
It might not work at this point. No, the jumper cables are when they're alive, so we can torture them to get the information using the jumper cables. If
No,
they're
we're
dead,
just
we can't torture
jump-starting
them with
them.
information.
Okay,
We're just jump-starting the heart.
all right.
I'm not a med tech. I don't know if that's how that works.
That's not how that works. That's a regular tech. I can tell you that's not how that works.
That's a big old no.
Elias,
Let's have
Right.
consider have we tried?
let me pull up your character sheet, Elias. Okay.
I don't have that many points left.
Fortunately, you do still have a decent
No.
amount of armor left. Though has it been ablating? Because I know I've taken quite a few shots at you. It's at 10 out of 15, and I know I've taken at least 3 hits on you. So I think that should be ablated one more. I'm gonna do that. But you take 23 damage.
Oh, good lord.
9 is soaked from your body armor. So that is 14?
12 down.
14.
down.
14 damage. What does that leave you at?
That leaves you with 9 hit points.
9 hit points. Alright.
Lord.
So,
Fine.
He's breathing.
What?
That's all that matters.
There's probably like a spar through, like completely through my stomach.
yeah, you said it, not me. So, Waverly, Angel, you
Yep.
screech your food truck to a stop on the side of, I believe it's I-9 out of Night City. And I imagine the lot of you, or at least Cece, rushes out of the vehicle towards this smoking, crumpled up, crushed soda can of a food truck, off a few dunes away. Cece,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can barrel out in that direction. What is...
Yeah, CC is.
No, please go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead. I was gonna say CC is because I know that the back door is probably a little bit damaged, so probably just like handlebars pushing through with her feet, opening up the back door and immediately booking it towards there. Priority. Do I still hear Elias laughing?
Weakly.
So
in between
it's-
groans, I imagine. But yes.
Yeah, it's a lot of like the post-adrenal come down giggles and cursing and groaning and coughing.
Elias, you still know who we are?
Oh,
You go full
hi.
Vogue on me?
Priority is making sure that
Hi.
at least one target is still alive.
Okay.
That was great. Let's do that again.
Let's not. You still know who we are? You
He's
go full
cracking
Vogue on
jokes.
me?
He'll be fine.
I've seen
Unless-
psychos. I've
Can
seen
I
psychos crack jokes.
Can I assess Elias?
Well,
There's a steel bar through my stomach.
would you prioritize? I will paint the picture for you. You rush forward down these dunes to this crumpled up food truck. Surprisingly enough, because it rolled on its side, the only door that is really accessible at this point is the rear of the vehicle. So you can open that up. It is on its side, so you have to kind of like prop the door up as you crouch underneath it. You can see the inside of this truck is a mess. They didn't have all of their appliances and food taken out, so there is all kinds of food all over the place. It is bloody back here. You see like big steaks of meat and big clumps of ground beef, or well, it's probably not beef. I'm not sure what it is. But there's a lot of meat back here. There's a lot of condiments all over the place. There's street chunks. And then there's like kitchen knives and utensils. The fryer oil has splashed out onto some very unfortunate individual who is very much dead. You can see the passenger. I'm not even going to describe that. He's been hollowed out Wolverine style. You can see the driver. The neck is at an angle that you know you are a medical professional. He is not alive. The driver is not alive. You can see his arm hanging limply on a sinew. Spurts of blood coming up out of the femoral artery. Another one of the passengers of this vehicle is half sticking out the front windshield. It's just blood splattered all over it. And then there is still one whimpering, barely alive individual with massive grease stains down his side. Grease burns down his side. And then you do notice Elias, who is probably only alive because he is propped up against the ass of the guy hanging out of the front windshield, with some sort of like there was an attempt to make a roll cage on this vehicle, but it obvious that it actually the vehicle is in a decent enough condition. The people on the inside really are not. And you see one of those bars from the roll cage is just jammed up inside the side of Elias. Which of these two barely living individuals is your priority?
The job. It's the job.
Honestly, it's going to be the job.
Okay.
Elias, if you die and I don't get paid, I will forever be mad at you.
If he lives.
He'll feel it in his grave.
So we get to see our medtech skills. Yeah, let's go ahead and I imagine this is a paramedic role for you. It's probably your best option.
Yes, that is under education.
Technique skills, I believe.
Paramedic, yes.
And let's switch from the highway out into the Badlands. There we are. 19 paramedic. Alright. Pretty good check. It's not yet quite on the heroic level, but it is on the top end of professional. And you are a medical professional. A professional on the streets. You probably don't have an actual medical license, but you don't need one to perform on the streets. Street docs and ripper clinics and whatnot, that's what we're working with here, but you are known for your medical skill. You can keep this guy alive, at least for now. Long enough to question, but it will come down to how you question and luck as to whether this Raffen survives. But for now, he's stable.
Okay, because I have I have a cryo pump, I have a stim, and I have a speed heal.
Yes. So the cryo
Oh.
pump is kind of, you just put him in stasis, basically. Save him for later if you want to deal with that, but it will render them unusable. You have the, what was it? The one that gives HP. The
Yeah,
other
so
one, the
I
one that
have
negates penalty, isn't going to help in this situation.
Okay.
Because he's past that point. He's barely alive. So it is up to you whether you want to spend your one health potion item in Cyberpunk to keep an enemy alive, conscious, and responsive, or if you would like to save that for Elias.
So, going to.
Or just wait
I
and see
can
what happens.
cryo pump Elias.
You could.
Yes, correct.
I mean, he's
answer.
not dead yet. You can pull
Right.
him off of this spike, and he'd probably keep going, but he doesn't have much left.
No. Dell has medical knowledge. I'm not pulling anything out of anybody.
Sure. Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna heal the guy that I need to keep alive for the job, and then I'm gonna cryo pump our resident psycho.
Okay. Well, I will ask Zev then. Does Elias allow our doctor here to put you in a cryogenic body bag?
I don't think this would be the first time this has happened.
God, no.
No, this would not have been the first time.
I think as she's approaching, Riker's. I've just been kind of leaning back, very like, despite the injuries, kind of very like companionable, relaxed. Like, mission accomplished, vehicle stopped. I did good. Here's her
You did
coming
good.
in, kind of
Good boy.
opens one eye and is like, "Hey, Doc. Got anything? Any go fast? Just need a little on my feet."
She just shakes her head. It's bag time, sweetheart.
Oh. Go fast later, yeah?
Go fast later. But for right now, you need to bag.
Get ready. And he just got, I think he's just kind of like the adrenaline crash.
Yeah.
I've been there. I think he just, before she even starts putting in the bag, he's not passed out. He just starts snoring. He's asleep. He's just like,
All
his
right.
body's had enough. He's just like,
Very much so. So, Elias is attached to the vehicle at the moment, but being a medical professional in Cyberpunk means you are just as adept at tending to cyberware as you are the meat it is installed into. So you probably have some sort of like minor cutting torch, or you can bring your tech out. You're gonna need to cut the rest of that bar off of the truck to bring it with him as you put him in the bag.
Because by this point, Jean would have been following. He would have been there, and he would have just started. Because he has tools for this, so he
Yeah.
would have just.
I get
Be
a
like-
souvenir.
Yeah,
It's near and dear to my heart.
It
I'll
is
chrome.
near to your heart,
It is,
at least.
Yeah.
I'll chrome it for you later, my friend. I'll chrome it for you later.
So yeah, so I'll let John can do whatever he needs to do once I've got like most of the bag set up, and then now, Angel, we have a friend.
We do. Guess we'll. But is this the guy sticking out the window? Or is he just like on the ground?
No, this, I imagine at this point, CC, you've checked for other injuries. He's almost certainly got a concussion. He probably has a broken arm, and has massive, like, fryer grease burns, like 3rd-degree burns down the side of his body. But you've checked him, he doesn't have any neck injuries, and things are pretty precarious back here. So I imagine you carefully move him out of the truck and onto the dusty ground outside. And then you can patch him up a little, give him a nice little hypo spray or something of that quick healing
You
item.
gonna need some synth skin, mon ami.
Fuck you.
Oh no,
I mean, I
you
could
ain't that
just
lucky.
leave you.
You ain't that lucky.
You've given him some HP back. I think it's based on their body and willpower. So they're not on death's door, but they're he's not
Knocking.
great. Yeah. what is your intent here?
We get information.
Yes.
We need
figure
to
out
know
where the rest of
where
them-
you were going.
Yeah,
I'm
what's-
more
what's
than
your
happy.
bud?
She's more than they're more than happy to go ahead and bring you back to somewhere where you could get treated, or we could just leave you.
Yeah.
You know, I hear Avocados have a bounty going on right now for Raffens. Maybe we take him to them?
Always do. Because we're mean to them.
Does that hurt?
I'm going to actually, Jean's going to put one of his polished boots, the heel of it, right onto his undamaged hand, and slowly apply pressure down.
Okay. Well, there's a number of ways that we can physically coerce this individual into relinquishing information, which is what the
Torturing skills.
which is what the torturing skill is for. And I leave it to that for time's sake, and because we are not 24 here. Man, that's a dating reference.
Good lord.
Dated myself there.
I'm
so,
confused.
the show 24
Oh no!
with
I feel
yeah.
really old now.
oh man,
Oh,
Yeah, no,
Ethan
I know the
Sutherland
show.
Oh,
as
no.
Jack Bauer.
Oh.
I'm making it
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm sorry.
It's known for both the protagonist performing torture on the bad guys and bad guys gruesomely
Yes,
torturing poor Kiefer Sutherland.
Over and over and over and over
Yes.
and over again.
But
We'll name him Kiefer.
Yeah.
yeah, sure. Yeah. So I will ask, would you like to try to... I imagine you have the option at this point to go good cop, bad cop, and see which one works. If you want to try to persuade this guy more socially, if anybody is more proficient in that, or if you would just like Jean, or the rest of you can all chime in, to pressure this individual.
Coerce.
I mean, I'm on team. Let's pressure this individual.
All right. So who's applying the pressure then? I know Jean initially started to, but this could be a group thing. And I lost my
Group
place.
effort. It's
Interrogation is
building.
not a great skill for me.
I would hope not.
I hope you have bedside manner.
I do.
Don't look at me. I'm asleep.
You're in the cold nap right now, buddy.
Pleasantly asleep and taken care of, buddy. It's okay. CC's got you.
Yeah, this probably would be a good check for for Elias here, but he's not in the best condition.
Right.
Let's see.
I
Where
mean, I
is
will
that?
give it a shot.
We can try and persuade him. We could try sweet and then move to sour. We could be Sour Patch Kids about this.
I think that Jean-John's not using this one for interrogation. He's using this to bring focus to the moment.
Okay, sure.
So he's bringing focus to the moment. He's going to let Cece try to do Cece things, and if that doesn't work, tech tools can be used for several things, mon ami.
All right. So in this game, interrogation is a cool-based social skill. Actually,
Yeah, it is.
whether you're using it, with damaging implements, or whether you are just threatening and being menacing. So I think it's kind of a pool of everybody doing what they are doing. So yeah, Waverly, I think you've been nominated as the lead of
Give it a
this
shot.
questioning. So go ahead and give me an interrogation.
Let's see how this goes. Oh, I just gotta click it twice.
You got this.
Could have been worse.
All right,
Could
a
have
9.
more.
Not a great roll, but not terrible. They do get
They
a
want to slap a little.
yeah. They do get a resist torture check here, but it's going to be with massive penalties because they are very
Not a great.
Let me go
Not a
ahead
great
and
situation.
actually drop their HP on the sheet here. Where am I? Close that out and try that again. Okay. Yeah, I mean, going by the book here, they would only take the wound penalties from their low hit points. But I'm going to provide a team assist here, which would probably be a bonus to your roll, as opposed to a negative from theirs. But I'll just give them
six of one, half dozen of the other.
yeah, we'll give
Yeah,
them a
works the
-2
same.
here. Okay. So that is 9 versus 9. I actually don't remember which way ties go in Cyberpunk Red, but I usually give ties to the players. Helps keep things moving. So it takes some time, and probably a number of different ways you have to convince this individual to give up information. The tech tools probably do come out to some degree. You got pliers, you got screwdrivers, you got drills. We don't need to go into their actual implementation, but you have a wide array of tools to both fix and damage things. But eventually, and let me ask actually, Cece Crash Cart, as the only person in this group who might vaguely have any understanding of the Hippocratic Oath or any sort of morality, would you allow them to kill this individual in the process of getting this information, or do you care about saving them?
I think that CC's personality is very much get the job done, but at the same time, it's a useless death. So long as they're willing to give up the information, there's no point in killing them. But I also don't think that she'd step in the way. I just don't think it'd be something she'd do herself. But I've wasted valuable products on this person.
Consider that the custom.
Are we talking the old Willy Wonka? Oh, no, stop, don't do that.
No, it would be like, look, I'm not saying that you have to keep him alive. I'm just saying I did waste like a speed run on this guy.
So here's my view. How much is a speed run on the market? How much is it?
Is it necessary to kill him? Like, is it for kicks? Is it fun? Like, what?
Do you want him to call back to their base and let them know we're coming?
Good point.
John cocks it, boom, right in his head.
All right. He is out. So,
John takes out 40 eddies and hands it over for the speed run.
CC will take it. Well, at least I made it back.
So, we gonna just stash him and come back for him? Pointing towards our boy in a bag.
I mean, we got, I assume, a decent amount of space in the van. We can just stash him in the van.
We'll stash him in the van. You never know. There's some of that boardware he has in him might actually fix some stuff. He might pop back when we need the most. Taps the bag almost lovingly a couple of times. Come on, boy, let's get you on the car.
Sleep every now and again.
you can drag this, essentially a body bag, into the back of your food truck and just prop him down between the two counters.
God, he's heavy. Come on, Shay. What? He might not need to.
That's weird.
Actually, with Elias, I think it is just pure muscle.
Yeah.
Elias
muscle
only
and
has
spite.
Elias only has two pieces of cyberware: his arm and his wolvers. That's it.
Yeah.
That's still 30
Arm's
pounds.
solid arm.
Right.
Oh yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think Elias was the most together before he got those augmentations, and that kind of tweaked him a little bit.
It's fun to have a psycho on a leash. Taps the bag again as John pulls himself in and closes the back doors.
CC has a soft spot for him. Keeps fixing him up.
I have a corn song playing in my head now. Freak on a leash.
Oh, yeah. Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
100% freak on a leash.
There you go. So, you learn from our poor unfortunate Raffen foodie here that they are operating out of an old mining cave out in the Badlands. There's a number of them littered all over the place. They dug holes all over the place trying to extract what little bit from veins here or there that they could. So they're operating out of a little, like, abandoned mining chunk not far from here. They were actually pretty close. But it was as difficult as it was, one, because they're Raffen and they're fucking crazy, and two, because he kept saying, the chef's gonna do worse than you, fucker, until you shoot him in the head. Well, he doesn't have to face the chef anymore. But he does remark, sort of towards the end there, that they have fallen on a large bounty of street chunks, and the chef is going to add your worthless corpses to their new supply of fresh organic meat. And then you shoot him in the head.
That's what I was afraid of. Besides, do you want to make deals with cannibals?
No, I don't want to make deals with cannibals.
We gonna go pop the chef then, right? Let's go blow his head off. So, yeah, let's do that.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you folks, because we are at 10 o'clock. Do we want to push on a little bit and get a little bit of combat in where we are going, or do we want to call it here and narrate ourselves out? Does anybody need to leave?
I actually do have something to get to.
All right.
Also, with Elias being down, I would feel bad to go through combat.
Not have the solo in the combat scene.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Elias brought the combat a lot earlier than I was expecting.
True. That's true.
But hey, that's how it goes.
That's true.
So the focus of tonight's run was a little premature, but still very exciting. So I think we are going to see, I'm going to narrate this out for us and try not to keep us too terribly long. We see our red, best-served smoking food truck pick up again, heading down into the Badlands. You do have to off-road it a bit, which doesn't go very well for the food truck. But Angel, you're a skilled driver. You're able to take those dunes at the right angle and slowly enough. You don't tip over or anything. But we do see you drive into an old abandoned mining cave. It's large enough, whether it's been cleared out since then or if it was this way, or if we're using video game logic. But you can drive your van into this mining tunnel and down this sort of wavy cavern until it opens up into a much larger cavern, the bulk of their mining chunk that they've taken out. And I will move us over to this this battle map that I put together, because if whether we're going to use it or not, I put enough work into this that I'm gonna get it shown on stream. So let's put the map up here. There we go. So, and actually, this truck isn't here. It's out crumpled in the desert.
Shame.
So, it is a little dark, so I'm going to zoom in a bit and move some of these tabs out of the way. We see our red food truck. I imagine you turn the lights off on this vehicle as you move in. It's probably not a big stealth approach. Whether there's light or not, you can probably hear the engine reverberating off the rocks of this cavern. But you can slowly creep your way forward into this space, and you turn and you see immediately, lit by this overhead, very bright, stark white sort of construction light. hunched over a table, working on something, is this individual here. I'll move her closer into the light so that we can see her. Go ahead, Foundry. Go on. Are you playing games with me now? Come on. All right. Well, it may still just be loading assets with everybody moving. But you see this individual working on something, and there we go. She doesn't immediately turn around and stop. I imagine you guys get out and get ready to start engaging. As she does turn, go back to work, do a double take, and see that you are not the right food truck. And then just shouts back, "Yes, chef! We got rats in the kitchen!" And you hear a motorbike rev up, lit down a little ways. You can see that there's this rock pillar sort of providing support to the cavern. And you can see there's a lip, whether it's from the original mining tunnel or it's been carved out since then. There's a lip that runs all around this cavern that sort of has this sort of like 8 sort of two mostly circles smashed together, and 2 ramps that have been cut down to base level. But you see bad guy Gordon Ramsay here on this gnarly ass motorcycle. It has a rocket launcher attached to the back, and you can see sticking out the front, just above the front wheel, is a fucking chainsaw.
I want it.
Yeah. This bike.
You're asleep in the car. You're asleep in the truck.
This bike revs up, rolls on down to another ramp over here. I didn't have. There you are. Keep going. I need to close out all of these tabs I have open so we can speed this up a bit. Gets to another ramp over here and takes this jump over top of what looks like, it's blue in the picture because I couldn't find a green one, but it's a bright green cargo container that he takes this ramp, jumps to just stop that. There we go. And begins making its way back down along this lip here. I imagine, however, that you guys you came here for one thing. You found the base, it's time to put them out of business. We head back down this way. I imagine you all push yourselves out of the truck. You have your weapons ready. Your intent, I don't want to put words in your mouth, your intent is to mop this place up?
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
There are Raffen cannibals selling human meat to the people of Night City. We can't let this continue.
All right. So we're gonna narrate this through because it is 10 o'clock. I don't want to keep anybody past their time. But there is a firefight here, and a big firefight. Fortunately, there were only 3 of them. Unfortunately, you're down your solo. But the rest of you, even though you have your own specialties in the group, are, fairly sturdy combatants in your own right, and you can engage. So we see you fighting the maitre d' here, along with the sous chef back down here, and of course, bad guy Gordon Ramsay, also known as Yes Chef, on his nasty Raffen killer motorbike, zooming around the edge of this mining cavern, launching rockets at you, and weaving down, trying to slam into you, cut into you with the chainsaw attached to the front of the bike. As we see the 3 of you throwing yourselves against cover, popping out, taking shots, jumping out of the way of a chainsaw motorbike. And eventually, the lot of you do... let me actually drag. This might take just a second. But we see the lot of you eventually kill you all. Probably don't survive. grabs you three, and you fight your way back into the further reaches of this cavern, and you see this cargo container back there. This bright green cargo container is painted on the side. You see the logo, and in fact, the word Biotechnica. I imagine as you are... Oh, I grabbed the wrong person. Not Elias. We need Jean-Jean. Move that back just real quick. But as you are engaging in this firefight, and it is a close fight. These guys are nasty, and they seem to have had some good equipment. But you can eventually fight your way down further into this cave, and you can actually look into the side of this cargo container. The side has been cut off, so it's sort of easy access inside. And inside, you can see a series of what look like heavily sophisticated cryo chambers. This might be the last roll of the game, but I would like our medic here, Crash Cart, go ahead and give me, paramedic's probably the best role for it at this point. Is there a medical technology role? I don't think so. There is just the med. There's the actually, yeah. Under the roll tab, you can go to medical tech, and you can just roll that. Actually.
I have cryosystem operations as medtech. Does that count?
Well, you should just be able to click on the word medical tech.
Alright.
I think. Yeah. That is a specific skill. It is the total of all of your other checks underneath it. Okay. 13, not the best roll, but you are trained for this. These are not just your standard run-of-the-mill like surgical cryopods. What would be the more sophisticated version of your cryo bag. There are actual cryo tanks. This is it looks like it's based off of them, but during this firefight, or as it is wrapping up, you're interested in this, I presume. You can see one of them is empty. There's a big cooler off to the side that is very bloody. There is another one that is still closed, and it has that frost on it of being activated, but you look inside and that individual is not intact. And then you see over in another larger pod to the side, you can look and scrape off some of the frost. There's a number of very exotic animals in there, in different stages of being taken apart. Animals that have been extinct for decades. This is Biotechnica. You've heard rumors that they are into genetics and cloning. And then there is a massive explosion from the sort of southeastern section of the map back here, as I bring us to our final map, because I always make one-shots way more complicated than they need to be. There's a massive explosion towards the back of this cavern, sending the other cargo pod back there that looked like it was just general housing. It slams into the ramp that bad guy Gordon Ramsay used to jump before, and collapses a series of scaffolding that has been set up to move about the place. As rocks and debris are blasted inside, you probably take damage. The sous chef, if he's still alive, probably takes damage. And then you see, clambering in through this rubble, head to toe, near max tech level gear, Biotechnica, and the big leafy green logo on their chest. The Biotechnica Retrieval Squad coming back to reclaim their goods.
Backing away, hands up.
And I think that is where we are going to pull out, fade for the evening. We don't know if anybody survives this. We don't know if backing up with your hands in the air is enough for a Corpo Retrieval Squad to care.
I mean, I'm asleep.
You're
That's
asleep.
a wonderful survival
You have the
strategy.
best chance.
you have the best chance.
to survive.
But whether this is a story that can be picked up later, or a story that you may have to wait for heavily biased screen sheets to hear the results of, we will leave our edge runners to fend off or run away, most likely run away, from the Biotechnica retrieval squad. Having, let's say, if they haven't completely taken care of Yes Chef and his crew, Biotechnica is going to put a wraps to this just fine. So with the sound of gunfire and screaming and heavily augmented shouting from these Max Tech retrieval squads, we will pull out of the blasted open hole in the side of the cavern and just slowly rise up and pivot the camera along the wasteland back to Night City as our logo, Food Truck Wars, zooms in. That's what we got tonight, folks. Viewers, thank you so much for stopping by. I had fun. I know it was a bit more than we were able to get to, and I know we had technical problems, unfortunately. One-shots, you can't always round up all the tech gremlins, because they don't always show themselves the first time around when you do Session 0 in Tech Vault. That's just the way one-shots are. So thank you for bearing with us. Thank you for bearing through a new VTT, but I think it was a real fun story. I always like to ask if we have time, and we'll keep this short because I know we have things to do. How did you guys feel? And if you could just say something good about the group and your time here to, we don't have time for wishes, but let's give everybody some stars. Actually, you know what? I'll make this simple. We'll zoom back around the way we came with our outros, and I will let you guys just give your outros and tell us who you are again, where we can find you, brief synopsis of what you're doing, and how you think things went tonight. So let's go reverse order, and I think that puts us with Grim starting us off.
Hello, everybody. My name is TR Grim. You can find me at empathic_Grim on all the socials. I had a fantastic time playing Jean the Tech. This was a fantastic game. Unfortunately, I had a very severe case of the tech gremlins when it came to the VTT, but Jack was a champ for that. Got us through just fine. And yeah, I think this was overall great. It was a lot of fun seeing Elias go full Wolverine inside of that truck. I'm not gonna lie.
Excellent. Moving us up, Kiwi.
Yeah, I am Kiwi Waste. You can find me on Discord, Kiwi Waste, and Twitter as Waste Kiwi. Yeah, and I was playing our Nomad, Waverly. This was a super fun game. I love that we all just this is a one shot. Let's just be full of shenanigans, and that is my favorite way to play games. Just everyone being like, yes, do this, do whatever this thought is, go with it. So this was a lot of fun, everyone. It was a great time.
All right, Zev.
Hey everybody, I'm Zev. You can find me on the Bird app at Bukari Gaming 30K. I don't get to let the intrusive thoughts win all that often at a table. And I was trying to earn a drink. I was trying for a drink. I did not expect to survive any of that. So much fun. This was so much fun.
Well, when Elias does wake up, if he wakes up, and if he has a med tech to thank, you very much better thank her. That will bring us along to Del then.
Hello, I am Del. I don't have social media. You can find me at Digital Crows Gay Panic on Discord. I'm in Tales from the Table Studio. I'm one of the staff there. I am so excited to play Cyberpunk, and CC is just bananas when it comes to, I have a Hippocratic Oath, kind of, but I also don't have a medical license anymore. So this was super fun. I loved everybody. Adapt and go with the flow. This was fantastic. I appreciate all of you, especially because I haven't gamed with any of you before, so this was so cool.
It was a lot of fun. And in traditional RPGs Uncovered GM Jack fashion, I wrote way more than I needed to for a one shot. No, that's fun. I think we saw a lot of really good action a lot sooner than I expected. Which is really cool. We got some real good scenes out of everybody with actually the actual food truck ruse. We had some great messy, nasty, gnarly solo work from Zev here playing our solo Elias Riker. We got to see some excellent driving skills, some just preem driving skills from our nomad here, Waverly, also known as Angel, and of course making sure that everybody survived, presumably, including the one that they needed to survive to actually have a chance of completing this job. Our med tech here coming in absolutely clutch with Dell's crash cart. It was a lot of fun. Hope I didn't over narrate things too much, but it has just been a beautiful, high-octane cinematic event in my head from start to finish. So thank you, players, for giving me a show in my mind. It's been a real fun cyberpunk brain dance for me this entire time. So you guys have been lovely tech gremlins and all. Thank you so much for hanging out. Thank you, viewers, for hanging out. I didn't get any notifications of donations for my good friend Lion, unfortunately. But this will be going up on YouTube pretty much immediately, so if you are watching the VOD, you can, I'm going to drop that link in the description. You could head down, it's a Ko-Fi link, drop some tips into there if you can, if you enjoy the show. If you enjoy the show, if you enjoy these folks, don't even worry about supporting the channel. Lion's praise and just knowing that he'll be able to stay with us on the channel and keep working with us is praise enough, and production quality enough. Do go ahead and head to that Ko-Fi, throw some funds in there, some eddies in there, if you can and you are so inclined, because it would mean a world to him and his family, and also to myself, in being a great friend. He's a great friend to all of us, because we're all recruited from his channel. So, Lion, I hope you also enjoyed the show. Looking forward to doing more. That's where we're gonna wrap up tonight. I'm gonna quit my rambling. Thank you for hanging out. Hope you had a fun, high-octane cyberpunk time with us. Brought the mayhem. Go have some good food tonight. And if you're wondering what to eat after this crazy event, I can always heavily suggest a nice big heaping plate of heart tomatoes. Good night and happy time zone, folks.
No.